Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. I've talked a lot about champions and playstyles on my channel recently that aren't doing super well right now, and today I kind of want to continue that trend by talking about Caspian, who is generally perceived as the worst flank in Paladins as of this video. Sky's been dethroned. She's actually doing decently, at least on console nowadays, and Caspian, well, if you look at his win rate, it's not super great right now. And so I want to explain why Caspian is not that great, offer a few suggestions for ways to buff him, and also talk about maybe why the devs are kind of scared of buffing this champion, because I'm starting to think that may be the case. Let's go ahead and pick up It's Got Some Heft, because that's the playstyle I've been playing recently with Caspian, on the off chance that I play him. Usually I just play him because my stream tells me to. My stream chat doesn't like me, okay? But we're going to we're going to grab some Haven as well, because that is quite a scary team comp on the enemy team. Shaolin and Octavia with double support as well. Get some of that, get some kill to heal, and let's ride out. So Caspian is a very interesting champion because he actually has very high DPS, but he's still kind of perceived as bad. He's a glass cannon in the same vein as champions like Sky and Moji. Champions who also historically have not been super hot, even though they have very good damage. So why, despite having good damage, is Caspian bad? Well, the first major problem is this. Look at this range. Oh my god. It's a projectile pistol that does 300 damage per impact with a very low fire rate. Or a very slow fire rate, rather, not very low. If it were very low, we wouldn't have this problem. But yeah, once we get up close, especially with It's Got Some Heft, I mean, the sword just does crazy damage. Ow. So yeah, the range is definitely a limiting factor to this character, just like it... Oh, she died too, okay. Just like it was for Sky and Moji. But, of course, range isn't always necessarily a problem, because look at characters like Talus, Koga, Lex, they're doing fine despite not having crazy range either. So what's the next problem? Well, those champions have mobility to get in and survive, whereas Caspian has one of the worst movement abilities in the game. It is a telegraphed dash that is linear, very slow, without the use of cards. I'm using, what is it called? Deadly Flourish at level 4 to make it just that fast. It is so painfully slow by default. And that twirl at the end makes Caspian take a bunch of extra damage that he wouldn't normally have to take otherwise if he had a real movement ability, like Maze Pounce, for example. Also, look at this damage! Oh my god, if I didn't die there, that would have been fat. But his mobility is not necessarily great. He has a very good movement speed card that gives him 60% movement speed for 2 seconds after hitting an enemy with his pistol, and that certainly helps him out a lot. It's helped out Sky, giving her a movement speed buff. It definitely helps Caspian out too. But it can only get you so far, and this dash, honestly, just really sucks. In some cases, it might be worse than Sky's invisibility. At least Sky's invisibility forces the enemies to figure out how to counterplay it. With Caspian, you don't even need to think, you just counter it. It's that easy. Another thing we can talk about is his inconsistency, because Caspian is very clunky and very inconsistent. As you could see there, with my stun, I didn't have any stacks and the stun was abysmally slow. I'm going to let my stacks expire right now and just show you how slow this stun is. Alright, throw out the stun. If I had Master Riding, I'd be able to keep up with that stun. That's how slow it is. It is so bad. So the consistency of the stun is tied to his stacks. I think where they were coming from with this is that, oh, we're giving this flank a stun. We should be careful. And I think that's part of why they are scared to buff him as well, is because he's a flank with a stun. But this is a bit ridiculous. The base speed of the stun is just too slow. Considering it doesn't even last a full second, I don't think it is justified to keep it that slow. And then also the damage of just his raw weapons is also tied to those stacks. You don't really start doing crazy amounts of good damage until you get those stacks up. Alright, we're gonna ult here. Oh! Oh, he ulted. Crap. Crap, sir. Oh, we're fine. Ow, okay. Well, we basically just wiped the team there. That's the only good thing about Caspian is his ultimate right there. It is so good. But yeah, his base damage is tied to his weapon stack, so you have to spend time building up stacks before you can start to do real damage. And that means that if I just get into the fight, I'm inherently weaker than basically every other champion is at the start. Vora also has a stacks mechanic, but it isn't tied to her damage. It's only tied to her utility, and so it works out a lot better. And Vora is also still not a super hot flank right now, so there's that too. So in general, Not only does he have bad range, not only does he have a terrible movement ability, but he's generally inconsistent. And that combination right there makes him not super hot right now. So what can be done to fix that? Well, I don't think we need to buff his damage, first of all, because his damage is good. As you can see, with a few different plays I've made this match already, he has very high damage. I mean, look at this damage against Corvus right there. He does very good damage. If you actually get in close, take the enemies by surprise, and you don't die trying to push them. It's very good damage. So do not touch the damage numbers at all when it comes to buffing them. Secondly, his movement could be buffed. And Payload actually shows us how we can buff his movement. We can kind of... It's very finicky. We can kind of make the dash, like, carry momentum if we time it with remounting. I am not good at it at all, but I'll put a clip up on screen of somebody who is using this against me in Payload. So, we just need them to be decently grouped up. Uh-oh, Yago's dead. Okay. Oh my god, wait. You can basically make it so that his dash turns into, like, 7. And I don't think it should be buffed that much. That would be crazy. But making his dash carry momentum so that it travels farther and is less predictable would be a huge buff to Caspian, and might honestly be all you need to do to fix this champion's viability. Because with mobility like that, all of a sudden his range becomes much less of an issue. He becomes more like Vatu, where Vatu is also heavily limited by range, but he's got the mobility to get in close. And also the dash having momentum carrying would give him more survivability. So that would be something good. And also, like I was talking about earlier, I would totally love it if the base stun was just a bit faster. Because I think it's silly how slow it is. Ah! Die! Yes, there we go. But I think it's pretty simple to fix him. Those changes would honestly, I think, be enough. His ultimate is just fine. Honestly, it is so strong and super satisfying when it works. So I have no problem with his ultimate. And it also, honestly, his ultimate is kind of a better iteration of Androxus' ultimate, because Caspian's ultimate stacks with his Primary Fire, allowing him to still apply Cauterize. Andro ult doesn't apply Cauterize, and that has been a major complaint of basically so many Andro mains over the years. Oh, I could have killed them if only my ultimate applied Cauterize. Oh, gosh darn it. But yeah, I think that the devs are scared of buffing this champion, though, because his damage is so high, like I said earlier. And so, that's why, again, I don't think they should touch his damage. And with this momentum carrying, I mean, don't make it like the clip I put on screen. Make it much... much less scary, much less powerful than that. But even just a little bit goes such a long way. I am very dead. Ow. One last thing you could look at is his cards. Historically, Caspian was actually pretty strong for a while, and the reason for that was because of a very unhealthy interaction with, what do you call it? What's the talent called? Measured Cadence. I just blanked on that for a second, I'm sorry. Measured Cadence fires out a smaller version of Rogue's Tempo from every 6 ammo that you consume, so basically every 2 pistol shots. So that made him ridiculously strong because it also procced the cards that worked with the main Rogue's Tempo. It was a very unhealthy interaction, which is why I supported and still support its removal. But the removal of that left him in a very weak spot, and while it existed, he was very strong, because a lot of the Rogue's Tempo cards were so good if you had good uptime with them. You know, it gave him ammo, it gave him... ammo, I'm forgetting the other cards. Listen, I don't play Caspian that much, okay? But the point is, it was very good. But you take that away, and now those cards are much less reliable. And then the rest of his cards, with the exception of the movement speed card, and also I would argue the card that gives him extra speed on his deadly flourish, right? His deadly momentum. I would argue that most of those cards aren't actually that good. He doesn't have much sustain in his cards, which is definitely a problem. Because a lot of flanks do have sustain, especially the flanks that are strong, right? Eevee has base heal on Blink. Vatu, do I even need to tell you about Vatu's sustain? Maeve has plenty of DR cards and healing cards as well if you want. Zin is a cockroach, so not having sustain in his builds does hurt him quite a little bit. And also a lot of his cards just... I mean, they're kind of weird. Credits after hitting Rogue's Tempo? I mean, I guess it's an interesting idea, but nobody runs it because it's kind of pointless. So I think it might be worth investing into changing a few of his cards. I don't necessarily know if some cards should be buffed rather than just flat out reworked, but certainly giving him some sustain could be one way to go. He has cards, for example, that give him shields and heals after his whatchamacallit, his stacks expire, right? You get a shield after your stack expires for every stack. It's interesting, but it's unreliable because generally you want to have your stacks while you're in a fight, and the shield only helps you when you're not building stacks, when you're not fighting. It's just weird. Also, there's a card that gives you healing just for hitting people with war, and this is actually a suggestion of my friend Erlenmeyer, who plays a lot more Caspian than I do. But that card should totally be percent-based and not a flat value, and the reason it should be percent-based is because of the talent I'm playing right now. If it were to be percent-based, even if you were just hitting one target, it would be stronger on It's Got Some Heft. But then also, It's Got Some Heft makes it so that if you line people up and you hit multiple people in a row, the damage goes even higher. Not considering the fact that you're piercing, but also just straight up the actual number of damage you're doing per hit is higher. So you would actually get crazy healing off that. I think that's a change that could easily be implemented to that card. That would definitely make this playstyle a bit stronger. So that's another suggestion to help make Caspian a bit more powerful. Because if he has bad mobility like he does, and he has bad sustain like he does, he's just not going to be that good, even though his damage is high, because he has to get in close for his damage. If you're going to get in close, you have to have the brawn to actually sustain yourself in close, and that's what Caspian ultimately, at the end of the day, is lacking. Bad mobility to get in close, and once you get in close, you just fall over. Doesn't matter how good your damage is at that point, unless you're literally one-tapping people, which... let's not make him one-tap people, okay? But yeah, that's Caspian in a nutshell for you. Let's go ahead and finish up this game now. We're going to try and win this here. Ooh, good ultimate from him. I'm going to counter with my ults. Maybe not right now. Fernando's dead. I could try. We need to group up, though. Let's try this. Oh, I totally whiffed that. Okay, we can kill Grok, I guess. And I just got one-tapped. Shaolin and Octavia coming in to murder me. But off the back of that Grok kill, it looks like Corvus is dead. And we're making some plays happen. Our Grok is popping off. That is awesome. Let's head back out into the fight. I forgot to buy items. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I forgot. We do need to push it 100% of the way, but the good thing is they only pushed it 100% of the way when they had about 10 seconds left. So we should have enough time to 100% this, I hope. 3 minutes left. We definitely have time to win right now. But the question is, can we do it? Let's hit that stun and just annihilate you from the back. Quick reload! Come here, Grok! There we go, there's the double, there's the triple, let's go. Caspian, like most champions with high damage, is still able to absolutely pub stomp. Skye was able to pub stomp when she was bad, especially against new players, which Payload is generally against newer players, so... yeah, Caspian can certainly make some plays happen in casuals. When we say he's bad, we're mostly talking more so about a ranked competitive experience, where people are actually trying and picking the meta. Against the meta, oh my gosh. You want to see a Roller Koga versus Caspian? Dude, Roller Koga wins every time. I'm sorry. Caspian's just so inferior there. Hello. You die. Let's stun you past your shield. There we go. Actually focus on the game here, and we do come out victorious. Very, very nice. So yeah. Let me know, please, what you think about Caspian in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you disagree and think Caspian is actually really strong? I mean, his damage certainly is strong, but that doesn't make him a strong character overall, I would say. Do you think that my suggestions are valid for how to fix him, or would you fix Caspian in a different way? I would love to hear all of those thoughts in the comment section down below. As far as stats goes, if anyone cares about that, we did a kind of carry, I guess. Made a few plays here and there. It's certainly satisfying to see Caspian plays when indeed they do work, but it's not often that they do against high elo players. So, yeah. But yeah. Let me know, of course, everything in the comment section down below. Am I off base? Am I on base? I would love to hear your thoughts. I do read the comments, as a matter of fact, unlike some YouTubers. So, yeah, I would very much appreciate that. Also, make sure to check out the memberships program. If you click join underneath the video, you'll be able to support this channel directly by purchasing a membership. And for $5 and up, you can get access to some wallpapers, which look very, very nice, of your favorite characters. They are in HD quality, some of them even in 4K quality, so very, very nice there. And for $10, you also get featured at the end of the video. You'll see the people who bought $10 memberships at the end of this video, so that's pretty cool as well. Would definitely recommend checking that out. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.